Travis Scott finally dropped his long-anticipated album Utopia, with 19 tracks filled with features from Drake, Beyonce, Kid Cudi, Cardi, and more. Now, the rollout for this album consisted of celebrities taking pictures with Utopia suitcases, along with 3 different pieces of cover art for the album, with this one being my personal favorite. This project was heavily focused on creating a hypnotic atmosphere and listening experience as a whole, as opposed to mass appeal songs like Astroworld focused on. In my opinion, the album sounds its best when listened to in its entirety, and overall definitely being Travis Scott's most artistic and unique album to date, with heavy influence from Kanye's Yeezus, and arguably his most hands-on project as well, with Travis producing a majority of the songs on the track list. But with all that being said, let's take a deeper dive into my thoughts on this project. Something I don't think anyone will take away from this project is the production. With so much talk of recent music becoming so generic, Utopia is definitely in its own world, with a wild amount of samples ranging from James Brown on Hyena to even laser blasters from Star Wars on Meltdown. Over the last couple years, it seems people forgot that Travis Scott got his big break as a producer, specifically as a part of the electric production team on Kanye's Yeezus, so it's no surprise that this project seems to be very inspired by that album, with Travis going as far as using an earlier version of the beat from I Am God,
I Am a God,
for Modern Jam,
to the maker,
and sampling the drums off the Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson and Circus Maximus. In a similar fashion, the drums made by Daft Punk were used in Black Skinhead. But overall, Travis was able to add new elements while still having a lot of his core sound across the whole project. Now, a lot of the tracks did a good job at getting you sucked into the tone of the album, but I found a few of the tracks like Schizo and El Resto to be different just for the sake of being different. I felt like the beat on Schizo specifically was changing just for the sake of changing, which I guess is on theme for the name of the song, but if anything, I feel like it was taken away from the song and should have definitely been split into 2 different tracks. El Resto felt kind of badly put together. To me, it felt like a bad mashup tape. Now, Beyonce's vocals was great. It pretty much felt like it was her song. Truthfully, at some points throughout the album, it felt like Travis Scott would try to make up for lack of substance in the track by throwing in a random gimmick or beat switch. Not saying it happened too often, but it was enough to where I felt like it's worth touching on. But to be honest, this is the most out there project he's ever done, so I feel like if anything, he's only going to get better with experimenting like this as time goes on. Now, Travis always likes to have a lot of features on his projects, but with this being his album with the longest track list, it also has the most features, with Travis only going solo for 4 out of 19 songs, and it almost comes across more of a producer album than an artist album. I've never been a fan when artists decide to have a majority track list of features. Some of the songs I liked most off of Utopia were the ones where Travis was by himself, with I Know probably being my favorite song off the whole project. Now, of course, the features for the most part delivered. Drake, SZA, Westside Gunn were probably my favorite, and I think probably the only one that fell short to me was 21 Savage on Utopia Twins, but he made up for it on the outro of the project till further notice. And Kid Cudi's verse on Love felt like a waste. He was missing for the first 3 minutes, and when he finally came in at the end, he didn't really add anything different or unique to the track. Overall, this wasn't something I was expecting from Utopia. I thought it was going to be a worse Astroworld, especially with the single for the album, K-pop, just being radio music. So I was very surprised at the dark, gritty, and immersive direction that Travis took the album in. But if I'm being honest, I struggled with what I should rate this. I feel like as a whole, the experience and tone of the album was mesmerizing and it sucked you in, but on an individual song level, I felt like it had its low points. It's good, but I feel like he still needs more time to polish this new era he might be entering. I doubt that he spent the last 5 years working on this only, and I'm not trying to take away from how progressive this is for his career. Compared to other projects, it's definitely better than Astroworld, and maybe in time I'd say it's his best, but for now, I still have Rodeo at number 1. But hey, at the end of the day, music is all subjective, and that's where I'm gonna end it off for this video. Go ahead and drop your opinions on the album, and let me know y'all favorite song. I also wanted to say thank you for all the support I got in my last video. I never thought it would get that much traction. I appreciate all the love. I'll see y'all next week for another video, and I'm out.